Hey everybody, this is Kristen, sports dietitian, certified personal trainer, and owner of Elite Nutrition and Performance. Last week I was talking to everybody about grocery shopping and how to make sure that your food is actually healthy and not buy the foods that the food manufacturers want you to believe are healthy but really aren't. So I'm here with you today to just give you 5 quick tips on things that you probably didn't know about your food. And these are some things that we discuss in our grocery store tours, and we have one coming up next week on May 7th at Publix on Rosewood Drive in Columbia, South Carolina. So if you're interested in that, please feel free to visit our website, elitenutritionperformance.com. So, 5 quick things you didn't know about your food. 0 grams of trans fat does not necessarily mean that your food doesn't contain trans fats. Everybody knows that trans fat is very bad fat for your body. That means it can basically clog your arteries and cause heart disease later on in life. So when you're looking at a food label, I have a food label here if you can see this. So trans fat is listed under total fat, and it says 0 grams here. Now, if you go down to the ingredient list, see there's a lot of ingredients there, you may find hydrogenated oil or partially hydrogenated oil, and that is a trans fat. So just because it says 0 grams and you see partially hydrogenated oil down in the bottom in the ingredient list, it still has trans fats in there. So the food manufacturers actually do not have to list if it has less than a half of a gram of trans fats. So your food can actually have 0.4 grams of trans fat, and they can say 0 on here. So make sure that you're always reading the ingredient list. Number 2 in the list is whole grains. Does not necessarily mean that it is a true whole grain. So it'll say in the front of the box, I believe this one says it, actually, let me give you another one. So Nature Valley bars, it says 16 grams of whole grains right here. Now this one, if you look at the ingredient list, it does say whole grain oats as the first ingredient. So that's good. That is what you actually want to look for. So just because it says it on the front does not necessarily mean that it is a whole grain. And you'll find this a lot with whole wheat breads and that sort of thing. It'll say made with whole grains. Like Nature's Own honey wheat bread is a really good example. It says, wheat bread. You would think that it's whole wheat, and it's really not if you look at the ingredient list. The first ingredient must say whole wheat or whole grain. Okay, number 3, sugar comes in many, many forms. We're looking at the ingredient list down here. This one has a ton of them, if you can see all that. You'll see in here brown rice syrup and cane juice and all different types of syrups, honey, molasses. Those are all sugar. And if you find sugar in the top 3 ingredients, I would skip that food. So it may say low glycemic or low in sugar, but there's many, many forms of sugar. So make sure that you're reading the ingredient list. So like I said, top 3 ingredients, make sure that sugar is not in there. If it is, then skip it. Okay, number 4 on the list is fiber. A lot of foods will say that they contain a lot of fiber. So this one here, it says up here 4 grams of fiber. And you want to make sure that your fiber is actually coming from real fiber sources, which include plants, whole grains, nuts, those types of things. If you see in here, let me find it, chicory root, if you can see that, that is actually a fake fiber. So what food manufacturers do is they take this root and they grind it up and they add it into your food. So it actually seems like there's a lot more fiber in there. Yes, there is truly more fiber in there, but it's a fake fiber. And the research does not necessarily show that this fiber is as great as naturally occurring fiber. It's not 100% decided yet, so my recommendation is to actually go with the real thing. Okay, number 5 on the list is everybody, has used agave syrup. It's the latest craze now, this and that. Agave syrup actually has just as much of a fructose content as high fructose corn syrup. Surprise, you probably didn't realize that. So agave syrup is really not that great. It is not the next superfood. It is equivalent to high fructose corn syrup, which is, we all know, very bad for us. So these are your top 5 tips for foods or things you didn't know about your food. Hopefully you can join us on our next grocery store tour and learn many, many more. Visit our website, elitenutritionandperformance.com. Thank you.